Welcome to the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Retro Video Store Podcast. I'm your host Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And that's my co-host Neil.
I'm Neil. And who is with us here and obsessed with the size of J-Lo's posterior?
And I'm your co-host Dave.
That's right, Dave. Own it.
Yeah, your signed-in name is Thick J-Lo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mine's better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Sir Mix-a-Lot over there.
That's right.
Because you're Anaconda.
That's right.
Don't want none.
Unless you have got Dave's unless you got Dave's specifications on what he's looking for. Yeah. There we go.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is the 4th episode of Monster March, which seems to be just dragging on, and the downloads aren't great because I don't think that many people watched Alligator to really listen to that episode. It was awesome, though. So watch Alligator and listen to the episode. It's really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. But we're talking about Anaconda today from 1997. This movie was entertainingly bad, which is pretty much all the movies we watch anyway. Which we want to watch it. We want out of a movie to be entertainingly bad.
Way to generalize, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
But before we dive into Anaconda, let's do what we always do. Let's go with Dave. Dave, what did you watch this week?
I watched the, I think it was like a 7 episode thing on the Olympic basketball that's on Netflix. It's called
the Dream Team or just...
Well, yeah, it follows the men's U.S., men's Serbia, France. Like 5 of the teams that could have won the gold medal. The documentary and just follows them on their journey to... It was all right. That was about it. Neil, what did you watch?
Well, one of them is embarrassing. The rest, not so much. I watched Moana 2.
Oh, really? Is that even out? I guess it is out.
It is out. And my wife really, really loved Moana, so she wanted to watch Moana 2. But then we're partway through it, and my wife's like, man, there's too many fucking songs in this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. And then you watch the credits, and it sets it up for there to be a Moana 3, the grab for more money. So a lot of good stuff came out, but it was like series stuff. So I started the new Daredevil. That's been really good. And we already talked about that. I watched more episodes of that. I was a huge Robert Jordan fan of his series, The Wheel of Time, and that started. So I watched that. And then one of the guys I play bagpipes with is a Irish guy, and he introduced me to an Irish comedy called Father Ted.
Oh, I hear that's really good. The guy who wrote the IT Crowd did the Father Ted.
Father Ted. So I've started watching Father Ted. We just had St. Patrick's Day, and oddly enough, it's a very bagpipe centric kind of holiday, which is weird because all the people downtown where we were playing bagpipes, none of them looked Irish, which I found very odd. But everyone was drunk. It was fun because everywhere we go, we stop and they give us like something to drink, something to eat as we're popping through all these different pubs. And we finally decided to sit because, we've been playing for like 2 hours and we're tired. And then all I did was get hammered by a semi-inebriated Irish bagpiper. Well, what'd you think of Father Ted? Did you watch? How many episodes did you watch? That's fucking cracker, that show. You've got to watch it. It's pure legend. Funniest goddamn thing you're ever going to see. Better than the American shite. And would just peppered me like the leprechaun from Lucky Charms, like way too sugared up. So Father Ted, if you have Peacock, watch it. It's pretty damn funny.
Okay, it's on Peacock. I was wondering where it was streaming.
Yeah, it's on Peacock. I watched that. Rewatched Nosferatu.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one, the one we saw we talked about seeing in the theater that we went and watched. Still just as good. Just what a fun like visual movie. And then I was skipping through stuff on Tubi, and I was looking at these like weird, like, I can't think of the name of them. They look like, it's kind of the thing. It looked like Power Ranger movies where you turned it on and it's got like the weird little guys and then they grow giant all of a sudden. And then they fight the other giant guys, like a kaiju thing. but it was late at night because I had a hard time sleeping, so I can't remember the names of those. But that's what I watched.
Nice.
And if you watched making of documentaries about this film, I'm going to lose so much respect for you, Eric.
I actually did not
Good.
watch any making documentaries of this. So
Good.
Yeah.
They wanted to find out how much money they didn't spend on CGI.
Well, we'll get to that at the trivia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't really watch much this week because I was watching basketball. Conference championships were on, so I watched a shitload of basketball. NCAA tournament starts tonight with the play-in games, and then the actual tournament starts on Thursday, which I have Thursday off, so I'm just going to sit and watch some damn basketball on Thursday all day.
Oh, yeah.
I did call in sick today because I felt kind of crappy this morning, and I watched Ninja 3, The Domination on Blu-ray today. So, yeah, that movie is just so bonkers. Just gotta watch it sometimes, you know.
You didn't just turn on your TV and find it. You physically chose to remove that from your Blu-ray catalog and pop that into a machine.
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm. The Shout Factory Blu-ray of Ninja 3, The Domination. So,
this glimpse into Eric's life brought to you by...
starring Lucinda Dickey and Sho Kosugi.
Listen to who?
Dickey. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch your last name. Lucinda what?
Dickey.
Oh.
Okay. The funny thing about it is we did an episode on Ninja 3 probably a couple of years ago. It's still worth checking out. The movie is so damn funny. And what I didn't notice is that apparently at the end of the movie, she had cut her hair short for Breaking 2.
Mm-hmm.
She had to come back for reshoots. And she's wearing the worst wig. It's like two or three shades darker than her normal hair. And it looks like somebody just dropped it, hoping it would like land on her head. And, you know.
Was that the one that was filmed? That was one that was filmed in Salt Lake City, if I remember. Was that the one?
No, that's a Ninja 2.
That's 2. Okay.
Yeah. Revenge of the Ninja. So there's Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3, The Domination.
Oh, this is the one where she's got that kick-ass 80s like apartment kind of thing going on.
Yeah, she's an aerobics instructor, and she's dating the cop who has a Wookiee-like pelt.
That guy. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, it's so bad. And also, Final Destination has been on non-stop on HBO. They play them all in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I always wind up catching the end of 1, all of 2, and all of 3. So, yeah. 4 and 5 aren't very good.
I don't want to talk about like necessarily Final Destination because my kid just got his learner's permit today. So I'm already going to be terrified enough in a car. I don't need that trauma. You
don't need him following a big old trailer full of lumber.
You know why I don't need to worry about that? Because I would never do it. I would literally pull over and wait for that thing to go a couple miles down the road.
What's so funny?
Back over. I don't even if there's no pull off. I'm just stopping with my emergencies on. I'll let people back up and try to get around me. I'm not following the log truck.
I saw an Instagram reel where somebody was showing that this one lane that had a log truck was completely empty, and all the other cars were in the other lanes. And they said, "Man, Final Destination really did this to us." It did.
Your head goes to just weird places like that when you see, or if they're like got any kinds of pipes or anything. There was it was a fencing company, and they were putting in chain link fence, and they had all of these metal poles like stacked up in the back, and all the chain link rolled up. And as soon as I get up and I see those, I'm like, getting over, went around it. Everyone in the car, like, you're driving like a psycho because I love life. That's why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's time to talk about Anaconda from 1997.
Yeah. Shit. Hell yeah.
You know, I had seen this on video after it came out, so I never saw it in the theater. And I remember thinking it was fucking awful. And I didn't really kind of just put it on a shelf and hadn't really thought about watching it again until this week. And of course, I had to rent it on YouTube TV. So I spent $4 on this movie, and it was pretty entertaining in a train wreck sort of way. Neil, when did you first watch this movie?
This is like the walk of shame afterwards. I saw this in the theater. There is no amount of movie theater nachos that made this better.
David, how about you?
Yeah, I watched it. I was dumb enough to watch it in the theater. I was working at the theater at the time, so I'm sure this was a.
I was going to say this is during your theater era.
Okay, so
This is a classic
totally,
midnight movie here.
That yours is totally acceptable though. You were getting paid. You were hanging out. You watched the movies. Come on.
Trying to pick up chicks at the movie theater.
Hey,
I can get you into a screening of Anaconda.
Hey.
Before and after the movie.
Yeah, this is bad.
Do you want to hit us with the Internet Movie Database tagline?
Minimum wage, free movies, and a bucket of popcorn. The ladies were just fighting over him.
The $6 an hour. The $6 I was getting paid in 1997 to.
Wow.
That's actually pretty good money. I think my first job was like $3.35 an hour.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, $6 an hour to be a person that put the movies together and had to watch them every single movie at midnight to make sure it was put together correctly so we could start it Friday at 11 o'clock for the public. And if it wasn't put together, I had to take it apart, put it back together, and watch it again. So there were times that I was walking out of that theater at 9 o'clock in the morning saying, yep, it's good to go.
It's dedication there.
Oh, man, I was an employee of the month.
going home to a kick-ass granny and a bottle of lotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you living in the house on Wall Street?
This was right before. Yeah, right before.
Yeah, that was a den of I don't know what to call it. Depravity. Yes, let's go to den of depravity. Yeah. We would visit you there, and it was just so sad. We were worried about you, David. We wanted to have intervention for a young man who was lost.
Those are good memories.
Yeah. So you want to hit us with Internet Movie Database tagline?
A, quote, National Geographic, end quote, film crew is taken hostage by an insane hunter who forces them along on his quest to capture the world's largest and deadliest snake.
So my first question...
Yo, we all have questions. Do it.
Well, my first question about the movie is, why does the narrator need to go on the boat journey with the rest of the crew?
So they can film him narrating. That's the way it was.
He was on camera.
He was a talent. Yeah. That's why he had all the money and the fancy wine.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't watch the same movie we did, Eric.
Well, it's not like David Attenborough goes onto the Planet Earth crew.
David Attenborough, my walker has disturbed the mountain gorillas on our quest to film them.
J-Lo has a gluteus maximus.
Sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Yeah. Gluteus maximus.
And then just puffs up.
Yeah. So this was directed by Luis Llosa. There's two L's, so I'm going to go with the Llosa instead of the Losa. And he directed some movies. Crime Zone with Sherilyn Fenn. That looks terrible. A futuristic action movie from 1988.
You had me at Sherilyn Fenn.
It's Peruvian. Then he did the movie Sniper.
There's a lot of Peruvian things that we've all enjoyed, though. A lot of Peruvian things. Let's not disrespect that.
I do remember Sniper with Tom Berenger and Billy Zane.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
800 Leagues Down the Amazon. Fire on the Amazon. And this is the one with Sandra Bullock and Craig Sheffer, where Sandra Bullock wanted to suppress the movie because she got popular in Speed, and she's naked in Fire on the Amazon. I don't know why I know this.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm just going to address the audience. So that is what we like to call irony, ladies and gentlemen. When Eric says he does not understand why he knows factually what movie a female actress has been naked in. All right. Sorry. Thank you, audience. All four of you.
It's kind of sad. Well, don't you remember, and we're going to digress here, when you would look at the TV guide and you wanted to see an R-rated movie that was coming on that night, if it didn't have N in the cautions on the movie, it wasn't worth watching. And there was always like adult situations, language, violence, and N stood for nudity. So when you were a teenager, you're like, okay, I'm going to put this on my list.
Okay, so did they
But
have
in 1993, I wasn't a teenager.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question. That as teenagers, they didn't have nudity on NBC, CBS, ABC, or PBS. Of which of those I only got 2 channels living way out in the sticks because not all of us, as he brings it up constantly, had fucking cable.
Yeah. HBO and especially Showtime. Showtime was good for that.
Skinamax.
Yeah, Skinamax too. But back then it was HBO with the Red Shoe Diaries and HBO with the Real Sex, which was scary. You wanted to hurt you, gouge your eyes out after some of those sessions, those segments on HBO's Real Sex. Then let's go back before I out myself even more as a pervert. Feast of the Goat is a movie he did in 2005 after Anaconda. And then he did some more Peruvian movies. So, yeah. Luis Llosa. Written by 3 people, Hans Bauer, Jim Cash, and Jack Epps. And there are no links to see what else they have written.
They literally wrote nothing else.
Yeah. It was released on April 11th of 1997. Budget of $45 million. $136 million at the box office. And back in the day, it was $100,000 per second for this level of CGI in 1997. Yeah.
Well, can't really say money well spent.
No, these were like PS1 level graphics back then. You could see it rendering on on film. And I wrote down that the best giant snake of all time in any movie was in Conan the Barbarian.
Fuck yes, it was.
That was the best snake.
It didn't make shrieking sounds. Move at lightning speed.
Oh my God. The fucking shrieking sounds in this movie drove me crazy. Yeah. I had to look up. Do snakes make shrieking noises? and according to
that snake is mad because of its medulla oblongata.
Yeah, according to Google, snakes do not make shrieking noises. Yeah, this. Yeah, you want to hit us with the critical consensus?
Oh yeah, it's short but sweet. Anaconda received generally mixed to negative reviews. I just want to read that again because that is so fun. I just love the way that's worded. Anaconda received generally mixed to negative reviews upon its release. Some critics did praise the film's effects, scenery, and tongue-in-cheek humor, but many criticized the acting. Forgettable or cardboard characters, inaccuracies, and boring start. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 41%, and that's based on 56 reviews, and that's an average of 5 of 10. The site's consensus reads, Anaconda's pulpy pleasures are constricted by its own absurdity, but creature feature fan... Constricted.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so far away from my computer right now. Are constricted by...
but I just said constricted because that's a snake pun.
Oh, God.
Okay, just trying to give you all the time you needed. By its own absurdity, but creature feature fans may enjoy its brazen silliness. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 37 out of 100 based on 20 critics.
37
out of 100. Yeah, so it's not a complete failure. Indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B- to an A+ to F scale. Also noted that most of them were huffing spray paint. Film critic Leonard Maltin awarded the film a mixed 2 out of 4 stars, criticizing the film's hokey special effects and exposition-less script, but complimented the film's use of Brazilian locale and Voight's campy performance. Roger Ebert awarded the film, hold on, 3.5 out of 4 stars. Okay. Roger was really, really cranked out on something good when he watched this
popcorn
movie.
was really, really good at the theater.
Popcorn just had extra butter and he's just sitting there licking his fingers.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other really gross things I wanted to say, but we're going to skip that. He called it slick, scary, funny creature feature, beautifully photographed and splendidly acted in high adventure style.
Splendidly acted.
Yeah, splendidly acted. It says it right there. Double checked it.
I don't know
if you guys noticed, but I've moved closer to the computer so I could see clearly. All right. Despite the initial negative reception, Anaconda has since become a cult classic, often viewed as being so bad it's good. The film is listed in Golden Raspberry Award founder John Wilson's book, The Official Razzie Movie Guide, as one of the 100 most enjoyable bad movies ever made.
I will say it is enjoyable to an extent, but it is bad.
I got to tell you, they completely lost me hearing Danny Trejo's accent.
Well, you can tell that was completely ADR'd. That's not Danny Trejo saying. That's somebody voiceovering for him. David, you had a question?
Well, it's not really a question. I just want to say, I think, can we go back to Roger Ebert for a second?
Sure.
And, exactly what the fuck is going on? Because he will give 1 or 2 stars to a movie that we actually think is okay. And this movie sucked, and he's giving it 3.5. Like, we can't take this guy serious. And how come lately we're not hearing from Janet Maslin? That's all I want to say.
Okay, I got 3 words. 3 words. Why Roger Ebert gave this film the rating that he gave it. Big booty Latinas. And we're all New Mexicans here. We can all relate. We all understand. But Roger had never experienced that in his life before. That was probably the first time Roger was ever moved by that and experienced it, and it changed his life. And bam, fucking 3.5 stars.
Yeah, maybe he was hypnotized.
Giving out fries with the shakes.
The cast is Jennifer Lopez as Terry Flores. Ice Cube is Danny Rich. Does Ice Cube look like a Danny to you? No. Ice Cube's performance is basically stating the obvious and scowling. Damn, there's snakes that big? Scowl.
Well, that's pretty much what he does. But he may not look like a Danny Rich. Does he look like an O'Shea Jackson?
Yeah, that's true. He looks like an Ice Cube.
Yeah, he looks like Ice Cube has never more accurately been named. O'Shea Jackson Sr. You just fucking Ice Cube.
John Voight is Paul Cerrone, giving a scenery chewing performance in this movie.
The best facial expressions you're going to see in a whole movie for a while, like from one character, just chef's kiss.
Eric Stoltz is Dr. Stephen Cale. Remember Eric Stoltz was in everything in the early 90s or mid 90s? He was just in damn everything. First thing I remember him was Rocky Dennis in Mask. Remember Mask? Yeah.
Wait, was he the guy in Mask? Was he the...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And his mom, Cher.
I just remember him in Pulp Fiction. He's the drug dealer.
Yeah, he was the drug dealer in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yep. Owen Wilson, pre-Wow Owen Wilson. He was actually like acting like a normal person in this movie. Yeah. Kind of shocked me. Like, that's Owen Wilson? It's just not... He didn't have that persona yet.
So Sammy was watching the movie with me, and that's all I did the whole movie. Like, wow, did you see how bad those effects were? That's just crazy. I'm just blowing my mind here because it obviously was CGI. Wow, look at that.
Wow, I'm going to wade in the water? Snake's going to get me? Wow. Wow. Kari Wurr, remember Kari Wurr? She was in
Remote
Control. That's where I remember her start from, and then she was in this movie and a lot of like really bad B movies. After this, we had a Danny Trejo sighting at the beginning, and Machete would have not let a snake mess with him. He would have killed that snake.
No, Machete. He would have ended it differently. I think.
Yeah, so. He would have made some boots out of those anacondas.
It was so sad they wasted Danny Trejo.
Mm-hmm.
This this puto snake is fucking coming up for me. I gotta get him. This boat is only allowed for truckers.
Yeah, it was. There's a guy who did the voice of the Anacondas, Frank Welker. So he got to ADR in a booth. All those stupid noises.
He's the one that did all the screaming and the shrieking.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yeah, he probably got paid pretty good to do that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got paid.
Yeah, we need you to make some anaconda noises. We don't know what they sound like, so go ahead and do it. I love a movie with a good bullshit opening scrawl, and this movie has a very good BS opening scrawl at the beginning of the movie, where factually incorrect information about anacondas. So whoever wrote this is like, yeah, that's good. Bad overdub on Danny Trejo's voice, which we talked about that already. We already said Machete would have killed that snake. He offs himself in order to be spared from being eaten by the snake. And the first thing we get is J-Lo in her nightgown. The booty sighting. Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Her whole premise that this film was going to be my big break. Like big National Geographic break. I don't know.
I've got that song stuck in my head now. That's
which one? The
booty, 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 rockin' everywhere, rockin' everywhere, rockin' everywhere. Hey there, Miss New Booty. Sorry. There you go. Sorry.
Yep.
Had to be done.
Like I said, Ice Cube is here to scowl and say the obvious. maybe there's fuel on that boat. Snake's that big? Yeah.
Damn, this CGI is bullshit.
It's coming to get you. Yeah. Today was a good day is the first thing he said, which is just ugh.
Yeah, which
is a great song. I just want to say,
it's a great song.
Great song.
He didn't even have to use his AK.
Messed around, got a triple double.
Yeah, today was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Mom made breakfast with no hog.
I know.
It's so good.
He went to Fat Burger. Yeah. Hit some Dominoes.
Oh, dude, that's gonna. You know what? I need to get that record on vinyl. I bet it sounds so good.
Oh shit! I went to a record show this weekend. It was the Colorado Springs Record Show at the Antlers, Wyndham Antlers Hotel, and it was pretty cool. Picked up some stuff I didn't have. I picked up Under the Blood Red Sky by U2 on original vinyl. It has the old Turtle Records $6 promo sticker on it. Every time I clap my hands, a child in Africa dies.
Stop clapping your fucking hands, man.
But it was fun to see all the record nerds.
Yeah.
There were mirrors. There were mirrors there.
There were mirrors there. Yes, I saw myself in line. But yeah, record nerds are an interesting lot because you all carry your own bag to put your records in. Which, of course, I had my King Supers bag to carry my my records in. It was a lot of fun. I got In Excess Kick, which I don't own. Got that one. Yeah. Styx Paradise Theater for $5. Yeah.
I was just trying to work on an autoerotic asphyxiation joke, but I just couldn't get it out in time. You moved on to Styx.
Oh, yeah. All right. Back to Anaconda. John Voight enters the picture, and the picture immediately gets more interesting because he is hamming it up with his awful accent.
Yeah,
his exaggerated facial expressions.
Yeah, the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These snakes, you never know what they're gonna do. You cockroach.
Yeah, it was really bad, and they had a shaky cam where that the anaconda supposedly kills a panther.
I can't stand stuff like that. Point of view. Shut the hell up.
I know you hate point of view, and
I hate point of view.
And they did so bad in this movie. They had these just random slow motion shots, and that was like the first, I think, slow motion shot was when it killed the panther or whatever, and just this random. It's like, what the fuck? It's the worst. Like, yeah, that was like you didn't even see the snake. You just knew it was that's not even CGI. It's just a slow motion shot and it still looked bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. And it's apparently warrior snakes protect the area. I didn't know there was such thing as warrior snakes.
I'm an Aztec warrior.
Yeah. And Owen Wilson's character, I don't even know any of these people's names. So I'm just going to refer to them as J-Lo, Ice Cube, Owen, and
Pretty much.
John Voight. Yeah.
The only thing more worthless than the CGI was them having to point out that Ice Cube had a knife.
Yeah.
Sitting there flashing it like, ooh, look, I got this. I got a little 2-inch knife. Ooh, I'm going to mess stuff up. Then can't hold on to it to save his life.
No, he dropped it so many times.
Yeah, it's freaking terrible. You had a bunch of fake out scares where Owen and Kari are going to go out to make out in the jungle, and there was a stupid boar.
Spelled B-O-R-E.
Thanks, Norm. Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board. If to all 4 of our listeners, if you have never seen the clip of Norm Macdonald talking to Carrot Top, I believe it was on Conan O'Brien, and he says, I'm in a movie called Chairman of the Board. And Norm Macdonald goes, yeah, they're chairman of the board there, spelled B-O-R-E-D. And Carrot Top, what can you say after that? Because you just completely got owned.
I think I remember it was Courtney Thorne Smith who was the co-star with Carrot Top.
Oh, so it was Carrot Top in that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he was but he's like, yeah.
In my fantasy, he told it straight to fucking Carrot Top.
Carrot Top, yeah. But it was hilarious. Yeah. I hate fake out scares in horror movies. It's just so cheap. It's so dumb that they rely on them so much. But that one was really, really dumb. And
you had such an opportunity to make this movie fucking savage. Yeah. You could just have this big ass snake, just kind of, people are talking, it flops up onto the boat, takes somebody out, rolls them right into the water. Holy shit, just picking them off without all the and all the tension they tried to create.
Yeah.
They could have made this so good. They come around and like there's a giant pile of snake shit shaped like your friend.
Just like
snakes. Snakes that can swim God knows how fast with a whole body in them, where you can kind of see like where their eyes and mouth were.
Like, Owen Wilson's inside going, wow.
Even there, his mouth is wide open. He's like, wow, I'm being digested. I'm getting really, really weird vibes from the snake's asshole.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. It's puckered up. It's just crazy, man.
Well, Eric Stoltz's character is like, I'm going to go and dive. I can handle this river. And inexplicably, he gets a wasp in his throat, which causes him to go to anaphylaxis and have to do an emergency like tracheotomy or whatever. But how the fuck did the wasp get through his scuba gear? And it just made no sense to me.
I thought I had missed something, because I got to tell you, I was not paying full attention to the movie at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I was already meant to believe what I was seeing with the snakes and the warrior snakes that just rise up out of the water and hiss at you and decide, you know what, instead of laying in wait, I'm just going to fucking attack you. Now, I'm not going to get you like a regular anaconda. I'm willing to accept that wasp manifested itself into his mouth.
in his mouth, yes.
Yes.
And so this movie is PG-13, and it's so tame. Like Neil said, it should have been savage, man. There should have been like, people getting crushed, and distended bones and heads popping and all. I don't want to see a lame panther eye in the corner for no reason.
Yeah, it honestly, like, that could have been so cool, but instead we got like a little bit of panther glaucoma, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been fighting. They could have had Sarah McLachlan come on and shown us the panther cubs in the jungle all by themselves. They're going to die. They call them children. Whatever she does with the puppies. Yeah, we could have totally taken that to some disturbing places and made it so much more fun.
So they have to haul Eric Stoltz's dumbass around on the boat for the rest of the movie, and John Voight's character is in charge now, so they're going to go. He knows he navigates the river or whatever. So they blow up this dam, and there's snakes all over the place, and they're baby snakes. And one is biting this guy on his finger. And
oh God, did that piss me off? That is one of those situations. And I mean, I don't know exactly how a situation like that would have rolled in your house, Eric, but Dave, only having met your dad a handful of times, I could pretty much assume it would have run the way with my dad. Would have been just like, you pussy, take the fucking snake off your finger.
Yeah. No, I got bit by a snake when I was little, and I told my dad I'm crying. I'm like, oh God, look, I got bit by a snake. He goes, it's just a goddamn little snake. You'll be fine. I'm like, okay, yes, I'll be fine.
I think the only time that my dad ever like took it seriously, like when I was like something happened with wildlife, was we ran across a rattler. We were out hunting, and I stepped in the wrong spot, and I hear and all I heard from my dad was, "Do not move." So I'm sitting there, and then in my head I'm like, it's going to be like one of those like 1960s westerns that my mom's always watching. Like, my dad's going to pick that rattlesnake off. He's like 50 yards away, and my dad is like, "Just don't move; it'll go away." And I'm like, "Come save me! Just come save me, Pop!" Yeah. Like, now's your time.
I think while we're talking about childhood, there's something in this movie that made me think of, I guess not my childhood, but my 20s. Eric, what do you think that was? Besides J-Lo's ass, but
that's where I would have thought. That's what I would have gone with.
I don't know, David.
Eric Stoltz's character. Hey, Eric Stoltz's character getting the trig tube, and then
Granny getting the trig. Yeah, I did think about that a little bit.
Once I thought of that, I just thought of like, better watch out for those snakes. You know?
I need you to move some furniture, but watch out for those snakes.
Yeah.
Did Granny have a tracheotomy or like a cancer kazoo? What the hell's going on?
She had a tracheotomy.
Yeah, she fell and hit her head and had to have emergency brain surgery. But on the flight down, they had to give her a trach. So the last 20 years of her life, she had a trach. And so I just imagine, like, look out. You know, just like you hear that one, like the snakes are out there. And then in the background, you just hear this, David, look out. You know?
It's a snake.
Yeah.
Going back to traumatic dad moments, did your dad ever yell at you while you're holding a flashlight for them?
Yeah.
That was the worst goddamn thing ever to do. Oh my God.
I had this with my son. You make those promises to yourself that you're going to be a better father. You're like, you're not going to do the same mistakes. And so I had my son helping me put something together. And I said, dude, I need you to go get this wrench. And I just felt the need. I stopped him and like, I know how stressful this is. I know how stressed out you're going to be looking for that wrench. And if you come back with the wrong wrench, buddy, it's okay. And he's like,
oh God.
He's like, thanks, Dad. I am a little bit stressed out about that. And same thing with holding the goddamn flashlight. It's like, dude, do your best to keep it right here. Just do your best. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm helping break that cycle.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David.
I just feel like, you do your best. You know, why don't you put it on the goddamn bolt where I could see it? You're like, okay.
My stepdad, Carl, was a very calm man. And the only time he ever yelled at me when I was holding the goddamn flashlight because it was freezing outside and a water pipe broke to get into the double wide, right? So we had to take the siding off. And he's crawling in underneath the trailer, and I'm holding the flashlight. And of course, I'm like, 10 or 11 or whatever. And I'm like looking around, and he's like, Eric, hold the flashlight. And I'm like, ugh. That's like the only time I remember, Carl ever yelling at me is that when I didn't hold the flashlight.
I can just picture Carl doing that too. That'd be so great.
Yeah, but like, give me a screwdriver. And go get me this, and then bringing it back, and it's the wrong one, and yeah.
Or when you're halfway there, and you think to yourself as like a 8 or 9-year-old kid, you're like, I do not know what a Phillips is. I am so screwed. I can't remember which one the Phillips is. So you put one in your back pocket, and you're like, haha, Dad, I was just kidding. I knew it was this one. Never worked.
Yeah. So you didn't know. Wow. All right. We're all sharing.
Thanks for all the trauma. Thanks for all the trauma, Anaconda. That little tiny ass snake brought up so much major pain.
So the guy is driving the boat. He gets in the water, gets his head snapped. It's dumb. no suspense. This movie has zero suspense. It just it's so dumb. And when John Voight rolls out the gigantic snake skin, looks like a gigantic condom, and of course Ice Cube's there's snakes out there that big. Yeah, there are, Ice Cube. There are.
No one was offended at just how much disregard there was just for monkey life in this movie.
Yes. Yeah. Monkeys are getting shot for bait and poor monkeys.
We're going to drag him behind the boat like a cockroach to see what bites, man.
And then Owen Wilson's all, do you know where you are? And I was expecting him to say,
you're in the jungle, baby.
Wow.
You're gonna die.
We're going to die. Wow. And this is in the notes I put, do snakes scream? Because they sure the fuck do in this movie. A lot.
I thought you were choking. I thought we were going to have to like text somebody to give you a Heimlich there.
No, hiccups there. So, of course, in the opening crawl, they say they regurgitate their prey to kill them again. So they spit out the monkey.
Raid, what was that commercial? Raid kills bugs dead. Because there's a temporary kind of killing. You kill it and it comes back after you cack it up. You know what? It actually they do because they throw you up and you give a little wink like that, and then they kill you again.
Exactly. Yes, when they spit up John Voight. So Owen Wilson gets eaten, and you see the outline of his body in the snake's stomach.
God damn, that was so dumb.
It was so dumb.
It reminded me of those cheap wall posters you can get around Halloween where it looks like something's trying to come out from behind a curtain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was going to be J-Lo's big break as a nature documentarian, but things aren't going her way. They decide that she's going to seduce John Voight's character, and he doesn't fall for it. How many times do they do the switch up where one person gets tied up, then they double cross them, and they get tied up again, and then they get tied up again? There's at least 3 times where there's double crossing.
Wait, are we talking about this movie or Eyes Wide Shut?
This one.
Okay.
Well, what about they tie John Voight up, and Kari Wurr's like character is going to go visit him, and he does this weird jump with his hands tied behind the pole, and he chokes her out and kills her with his legs.
All I'm saying is because you can't, that just means nobody else can. It's a sad character flaw,
yeah,
Eric.
That's true. I guess since I can't do it, nobody can.
We can't.
I'm pretty sure John Voight can't either. And the narrator gets killed as well. The part where Jenny ain't firing that gun. Did you notice that she has a bolt action rifle and she keeps shooting?
Yep.
3 times without ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not Jenny with a Glock.
Oh, damn it. You stole my joke. I was going to say
God,
You gonna say that?
Yes.
Fucking Vulcan mind meld to my mind.
Shit.
We've known each other way too
I
long.
was going to say Jenny with a Glock. Yes. Yes, I was. Damn.
She's got a Glock in her Rari.
Yeah. That was that. And Eric Stoltz comes back from the dead, or seemingly dead, and he gets choked again by John Voight. He gets tied up. And then he turns it around, and now Ice Cube and J-Lo are tied up, and he's throwing monkey blood on them. There was some very viscous monkey
blood, man. And the monkeys he's killing look like they're tiny, tiny little monkeys, man. He's wringing those monkeys out like a damn tube of toothpaste.
Trying to get all the blood out of them,
he's monologuing while he does it. You have to really twist the monkey to get the blood out here in the jungle.
Yeah.
No one's made a spank the monkey joke yet for this, so I'm very impressed with us.
Yeah, we're showing some restraint.
We're adults.
When John Voight does get eaten, it's the stupid gullet cam where you're like, you can see the inside of the snake eating him.
I thought we were watching pornography for a minute.
David, you really rolled your eyes on that one.
That was so bad.
Yeah. And so dumb. then he gets spit back up and winks. He has a wherewithal to wink at J-Lo after he gets spit back up.
Well, getting crushed and then sucked down by an anaconda really kind of tops off the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, the snake knocks over the gas can, and they blow it up. And they happen to use a hose like it's a fuse to blow it up. And yeah.
It screams the whole way.
It did scream the entire way.
Screams the whole fucking way. God.
Yeah.
Just thrash.
And they think it's dead. And of course, there's a jump scare, and Ice Cube kills it with an axe. There's an axe to the question joke in there.
Yep, there was. And we didn't get it.
And so they get rescued by this tribe, and they basically should turn into cannibal holocaust because they killed their snake god, basically.
That's exactly what I was hoping to see. Like, let's have the twist ending where they just start offing those guys right and left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Should turn into cannibal holocaust. And that's Anaconda. We're only 46 minutes into the podcast and we finished talking about Anaconda. But I did include a list of giant snake movies from the Internet Movie Database. Of course, there's a movie called Spasms from 1983. Let me put that thing in there so you can see it.
Please tell me it has Anaconda 3, which has David Hasselhoff in it. Please tell me you get that on this list.
Here's a list of the snake movies. There's a movie called Spasms from 1983. The gigantic serpent is captured on a remote island and shipped to an American college for experimentation. A British millionaire and an American scientist must pursue the beast when it escapes and starts to kill innocent people. But I just remember this poster not being anything about it because it looks like a Scanners thing where people are having spasms and their faces are all busted out and stuff like that. Neil, you have to remember this movie poster.
I'm thinking it sounds super familiar.
Yeah.
I've not looked at it.
The
Let me
ritual,
look at it.
the terror. And the guy's got the huge bladder effects face.
See, mine's not, I can't get it to load.
There's a lot of chicks in bikinis, though, if you look at the the photos from the movie on the Internet Movie Database. Peter Fonda and Oliver Reed in Spasms. 1983. Anaconda's number 2, King Cobra from 1999. I think this is a sci-fi original because it's got Pat Morita is the star of it. So that sounds like a sci-fi movie to if there ever was one. Another one called Python in 2000. Boa, Python 2. Boa versus Python from 2004.
That wins just for the title.
Then Anaconda's the Hunt for the Blood Orchid, which is the sequel to this movie, which I have not seen. Have either of you seen that one?
No,
I have not.
There's one called The Snake King, which has an amazing cover. Stephen Baldwin is in that one. Komodo versus Cobra. That's definitely a sci-fi movie if I've ever heard one. Snakes on a Train, which is one of those mockbusters for snakes on a plane. Mega Snake. Lockjaw, The Rise of the Kulev Serpent. It sounds kind of like an adult movie.
Dude, I'm stuck on Big Bad Bugs.
Anaconda 3, The Offspring. Anaconda's Trail of Blood. Megaconda. Mega Python versus Gatoroid. There's a crisis in the Florida Everglades as giant pythons are threatening the alligator population. Piranaconda. Oh, Big Bad Bugs. Yeah, I see that one.
Yeah. There's obviously some foreign language films in here. Well, or for whatever country you're in, those that might just be language. Near the bottom, there's one now that I am really curious to watch. It's called Big Freaking Snake, number 33.
Big Freaking Snake. Oh, yeah. There's one called Lake Placid versus Anaconda. Yancey Butler's in that one. Corin Nemec. Wow.
Wow. Parker Lewis can't make a movie.
I guess not. Those are terrible. Big freaking snake. Yeah. Wow. I don't think we've ever been this short on it. On an episode.
Well, people are gonna look at this and they're gonna know. They look at the runtime like, oh, yep, Anaconda, sure.
50 minutes. I think we ran into this problem with Leprechaun. Leprechaun was a really short episode too because that sucked, and we couldn't muster anything up to talk about it because it sucks so bad. This is one of those movies.
Yeah, but this movie made a profit, and
Oh yeah.
it's a cult classic. Like, you have to give it that, at least, that it made money for the whatever company that made it, and then it's got a following.
Oh, gentlemen, I cannot tell you how amazing this is going to be. But on Tubi, big freaking snake. Yes, when massive snakes start wreaking havoc near us. This whole episode has sounded dirty.
Yes.
Massive. Oh, when the massive snakes start coming out, they start wreaking havoc near a suspicious construction site. I will say that the footage of that snake coming around.
Oh my God. That is like the graphics of a iPhone game, basically.
Yeah, but it's way better than Anaconda. But this movie was made in 2023.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you'll have to give us the rundown on Big Freaking Snake next week.
I am watching some of the. Oh my God! It's on top of a goddamn building. Look at it. Look at this.
It's so stupid.
This is glorious. All right, you know what? This is going on my list. Big Freaking Snakes has been added to your list. I am going to be watching this.
Amazing. So, if you want to get a hold of us, rvspodcast222@gmail.com. We are on the Facebook. We're on Blue Sky sometimes, mostly on Instagram. Instagram and Facebook is easily the best way to get a hold of us. But you can also send us a text through our Buzzsprout site. If you want to send us a message that way, you can do that as well. And next week, we're going to be talking about a good monster movie. We're talking about the Korean movie The Host from 2006.
That I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it is super good. We'll finish Monster March with a good one.
Yeah, we figured, what are downloads? Let's watch some monster movies, and then we're going to move on. Yeah. We're tired of having all four of you guys download these podcasts. We just wanted some time to ourselves, so we decided to watch some of these movies.
Just scream into the void without any listeners. So, yeah, it's Alligator is not burning up the charts.
Such a shocker. I think anything that I've seen as a movie of the week when I was a child, probably not going to be tearing it up for anybody.
Gamera Guardian of the Universe has been out half the amount of time as Alligator and has already beat Alligator in downloads. So, yeah. It's kind of sad. Lucio Fulci's The Beyond, also not a hit.
It's such a shocker, Eric, that you love these movies, but we're not finding other people that do.
I feel like Ivan Drago. I do this for me. For me.
He's not a man. He's made of shitty movies.
Shitty movies. I love a shitty movie. Watch Ninja 3 and you'll see what the shitty movie can be.
Dave, do you still have the price tag on the bottom of your mug? Dave keeps taking a drink, and I am super.
He does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Still got the price tag on there. All right, Bachelor Life. I love it.
That mug has probably never, ever been washed.
Yeah, it has. It's my Michael Myers Just Do It mug.
Very nice. All right, well, thanks for everybody for putting up with us with the Monster March. We'll get to Adult April with some salacious movies.
Yes.
I do it for me.
I do it for me.
Yes. My shoulder's been repaired just in time.
The sound of one hand clapping. Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you.
RVS Podcast 222@gmail.com and buy us a cup of coffee, damn it.
Oh, yeah. Buy
Bye,
us coffee.
everybody.
Go to buymeacoffee.com.
Yeah.
Go check out this movie. Anaconda's great.
Everybody
Thanks.
ignore what Dave said. Have a good week.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Video Store Podcast.